Hello.
Welcome to the pre-show. You'll notice there's a couple less people here. Kelly is gone from the show, but hopefully we can bring him back eventually.
Well, he's going to be when we go to...
Oh, well, yeah, he'll be there, when we go to the Jack. But we also are missing Gil.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell he's doing. And yeah, so Josh went to help Kelly move, and so they are not here. They are moving. However, I got to just find the show here so I can share it.
Oh, yeah.
The YouTubes. So it's just the two of us. So we decided we're going to do something a little bit different. If you're watching the episode, you may notice there are 3 bottles in front of us instead of the typical 1 bottle that you normally see. You'll also notice there's no cigars. Neither of us smoke.
No.
There was going to be a cigar, but Gil's not here. So there's no cigar. But we're going to make up for it by 3 drinks. Now, those of you that are extremely astute might notice that there is a interesting looking bottle here. And actually, all 3 of them don't quite look like the whiskeys that we normally drink. And yeah, that would be because they are absolutely not. These are tequilas.
You didn't introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, I shouldn't talk about that yet. I need to keep pre-showing, so let me copy this link here, repost it. Damn, pre-show got me all crazy. Actually, I can just do this, too. Let me share this. You know what? I don't think we've been on Facebook in a long time. To be perfectly honest, I think it's been a while. I think we've been disconnected from Facebook. We just reconnected it today.
Oh.
And I don't usually log in directly to our streaming platforms, so I just let it go and do its thing. And so here we are on Facebook. Stogies and Spirits podcast, minus a couple people, but that's okay. They'll be back next week.
I'll share it after we're done.
And I'm going to share that one. But then, from me, I'm also going to share the YouTube. So we're on a lot of platforms here. Get that out. Almost there. And post. All right. So, are we ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, let's kick it off with the intro. Again, I'm the only one that's...
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Stogies and Spirits podcast, coming to you live from the Diplomat Cigar Lounge in beautiful downtown Keene, New Hampshire. Is everybody ready? It's time to just cut, light, and suck.
Disclaimer.
Luckily, the
We are all
disclaimer
over the
is
age of 21 and do not condone
AI.
underage smoking or drinking. Please drink and smoke responsibly.
All right. Hello. Welcome to the show,
Hello.
Stogies and Spirits podcast. There's only 2 of us this week. So it is myself, the producer, DJ Ice, and I'm here with Ginny from the block,
Hi.
the connoisseur of spirits.
Yep.
So unfortunately, if you're here for the Stogies part of it, you'll want to tune in next week because neither of us smoke, and it wouldn't really be exciting for us to do any reviews on cigars. So even though we are at the Diplomat Cigar Lounge, we are not going to be smoking cigars today.
I don't think I could do it.
I don't think so either.
I feel like they're going to make me do it at some point.
One day. You're lucky there's no smoking at the Jack because I feel like that would have been a perfect opportunity.
I know.
But yeah, so we are not going to have that happen. Not in this episode. However, I am going to back up the camera a little bit to share with you what we are going to do today. So if you've watched the show before, you should know that we typically do different whiskeys. And what you can see in front of you, none of these are actually whiskeys. Kelly cannot drink, Kelly, who used to be on the show, he cannot drink tequila. So, in his honor, we are not only going to drink tequila, but we are going to drink 3 different types of tequila. So, in front of us, they're all Don Julio. So we don't know where we're starting or where we're ending. So these are completely, I mean, we're going to start at the little one and go to the big one, but we have no idea what each one of these is. We know that the glasses that are shaped the same have the same tequila in them.
This is the 1942.
And Ginny thinks she already knows what it is.
I already know.
So yeah, but we are going to try to see if there's really something to this. So with the Don Julios, the 3 we have in front of us are, I believe, the aged, which is the añejo, the reposado, which I don't know what that translates to.
Reposado.
Yeah.
So it's Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo, but this is a super
Añejo is a
Añejo.
or is a reposado, isn't it? Just aged, and then the 1942
That's a
super.
So they're all
Añejo.
aged differently.
Okay.
So
Let's
a
hear it.
Blanco would be like, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
But I think it's like up to like a year or whatever.
And it's
those
the
are
white one.
Right. Those are the
Silver.
ones you're going to get more like peppery. You know, you'd mix a Blanco with like a margarita.
You're going to have it with a margarita.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, or
You're
like-
not going to drink it straight.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
You
but
could, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And depending on the brand, too, because there's a lot of different brands. I noticed from I don't drink a lot of tequila either, but from the tequila that I have had before, I noticed that, let's say, like the Patrons and the ones that really people kind of go after as like, ooh, these are, the Jose Cuervos, the tequilas that that when you go out to the bar, college bar, you're going to see them there. Those are typically, from my understanding, fake. Not that they're necessarily fake in the terms of where they're grown or anything like that. They follow the tequila standards for the most part. However, the flavoring, there's a lot of additives, I guess, to the flavoring to those.
So it's the same thing as like we were talking about caramel coloring added to some of the different styles of whiskey. So like flavoring and caramel coloring can be added to Canadian whiskey, for instance.
Okay.
So it's sort of the same type of thing. It's not
Sure.
like it's not a chemical. What it is it's like basically they're taking like, the darkness from the malt and making a sugar out of it.
Okay.
So that's caramel coloring.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So some of them do have added caramel coloring. I don't know. I'm not an expert on tequila if there's a
Yes.
flavoring allowed in it, but I know the caramel coloring can be added.
My understanding is that if you taste like a heavy vanilla, that typically that's an added flavor because tequila doesn't typically have a vanilla
Yeah, like
taste
some
to
have
it.
like that, like you can taste like a sweeter. Yeah.
It's sweeter, yeah. They make it more palatable. Again, you can mix it easy in a margarita to make it taste less strong. You'll notice like a very short finish on some of the I used to love Patron. I still do. It's good. But if I were to get into tequilas like I do with whiskeys where I'm actually kind of trying to, taste the flavors and the aromas and all of that, it would be completely different. I wouldn't like any of those easy ones. Just like the other day when we had the, what was it? I forgot the board. But it's okay because we're not doing whiskeys or cigars, so we don't need the board.
Wait, you mean last week?
But yeah, last week, what do we have at the end? We had the, oh my God, it's a really big seller here. I think one of the most popular whiskeys that he has. And I don't think you liked it.
Oh, the Basil Hayden
Basil
Dark Rye.
Hayden Dark Rye.
Yeah, I did not like that.
Yes.
I don't like the aftertaste of it at all.
So it's sweeter,
Yeah.
and there's like no lingering aftertaste. There's no lingering
Burn.
finish. Burn.
There was no burn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
none at all. Very smooth.
No.
So I feel like a Patron is very similar to that. There's almost no burn. Very smooth.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had before I haven't tried these ones yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that before, but tonight I haven't tried any of these. But I did try the Don Julio Silver.
Okay.
And that was pretty smooth. So I'm kind of, I don't know, a little scared of it.
The
Oh, no,
Don-
wait, I didn't. Hold on.
The Blanco?
It wasn't. It was, hold on, I think I have it here. Maybe I don't. Let me see. Don Julio. No. It was something else. It was like Hornitos or something.
Yeah,
I tried.
Hornitos is good too. I mean,
It was a silver one. I don't know what it was, but it was super smooth.
okay.
And I can't find it. But so it got me like thinking, okay, let's see what we got out here. It was a bartender's suggestion to try tequila, and then I thought, how can we make this fun? So here we are.
Yeah. So coincidentally, Don Julio is my favorite tequila.
That is,
Yeah.
wow.
So
What can I say?
Yeah.
This is perfect.
and
Do you
I
kn- what
have
do you know
tried
about
all
it?
of these. Don Julio.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
wanna talk about it?
I don't really
You
know the background of it.
Yeah.
If I knew more about tequila, I would definitely go more into it. I know some things, but I'm not like 100%. The aging, though, I mean, we're looking at the same thing as whiskey, right? We're looking at they're aging their spirit. So the longer it ages, the more you're going to get some of those like caramel. You're going to get vanilla. You're going to get sweeter flavors. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we know that like when you start going into a super añejo where it's extremely aged, more than 5 years probably, you're looking at some more of those like sweeter flavors, the caramel, the vanilla, the
Okay.
butterscotch,
That
like
makes
just some of
sense.
those like candy, flavors to it too.
So
as
I'm
well.
looking at the Reposado. So, one other thing, another reason why I wanted to do the Don Julio that I thought was really cool is they're aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
American oak ex-bourbon barrels. All three of them are aged in the same. I guess they use a stainless steel still. I've never seen the still before, but that's kind of interesting.
Well, so when we are making whiskey, we're using more copper because when it comes in contact, well, you want as much contact with copper as possible
For the whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it gets rid of any of those off flavors. It absorbs anything that like the sulfur flavors, anything that will go into the copper. Now, when you're looking at doing,
A tequila.
yeah, you're looking. Pretty much comes out as like a clear spirit, and like what I
Yeah.
mean. And it's like you have your tequila, like same thing as like when they're doing like vodka or whatever. You can just use stainless steel
You
or
can
whatever.
just use whatever. It doesn't matter.
I don't know that much about tequila, like if it makes
Yeah.
any difference on what kind of still they're using, but
So for this one, for talking about the Reposado, they aged that for 8 months. So that is
I thought it
definitely
was more than a
a
year.
lot less. Yeah.
Okay.
So here we have pros and cons according to liquor.com. And they say the pros are the most agave forward bottle in the Don Julio portfolio. Again, talking about the Reposado. And a great introduction into the premium tequila category. However, cons are if you're used to shooting tequila or throwing it in a frozen margarita, an aged bottle may not be your best bet. And it says the funky grass and stewed fruit notes may not appeal to those who like a sweeter and less challenging tequila. So again, it sounds like this is not going to be sweeter. It's going to be... So here's what's interesting. I'm thinking, I'm talking about the Reposado. I think I should talk a little bit about all three before we try them because I don't know which is which. You know which
I
is
can
which.
tell kind of by color, but
they do have, and they
are
probably
you
do
sure
have
that's a
different colors.
Reposado that's aged only 8 months? Because usually it's up to a year for a Blanco.
This says, it has a picture of the Reposado, Don Julio Reposado.
Okay.
And yeah.
And usually
8
as they get
months.
aged, they're sweeter. Like the 1942, for instance, it's like I can drink that all day long.
Yeah, I bet. At $140 a bottle, though, you might
Yeah.
not be able to drink it too much.
Yeah.
So moving on to the Añejo, the aged one. This one is 18 months.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So it's got an extra 10 months in there. Again, American oak ex-bourbon barrels, stainless steel, pot still, and
Oh, pot still.
yes, double distilled.
Okay.
And then so pros on this one, modern classic example of an añejo tequila, easy to drink, a great introduction into the category. Okay, these are the same exact ones as the other one, so I'm not even going to read
So
those.
pot still's interesting. That gives you more of a mouthfeel. Whenever
Oh,
you
okay.
have like the pot still, you're getting more mouthfeel, gives you a little bit of heavier spirit. So
Okay, and then the, let's see, what do they call it? The 1942
yeah.
añejo is, again, ex-bourbon, American oak, stainless steel pot still number 6. So that
Okay.
must be a specific pot still. I don't know.
I don't know.
This one's aged 32 to 35 months.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's interesting. I thought it was longer, but
me
I
too.
guess a little bit under 3 years is,
Okay. Well,
is
that's
what they
still
do.
a long time.
It is, yeah. And so apparently it was released, the first one was released in 2002, and it's been going ever since. Now this one, this one actually has different pros and cons. So pros, it's a higher end product. Okay.
Yeah.
Bright, clean agave and tropical fruit notes
Yes.
with lingering wood, menthol, pineapple finish is what they're saying here.
Yeah.
Great for sipping, neat, and also works well in umami-influenced cocktails. I love umami, so that's kind of interesting. They say that. And then elegant and unique bottle, which, okay, I guess that's...
Okay.
It is what it is, sure. Cons, it may be too light and sweet for some añejo fans. The fruit and flora notes may not appeal to fans of aged brown spirits, and it may be considered overpriced for what you get. So there we go. Those are the 3 pros and cons there to the tequilas. So where would you like to start? Should we just start and go through?
Yeah.
Small to big? Okay. So on the nose, this one,
Caramely.
very caramely. I would say
I feel like we should smell them to each
smell
other.
them all.
though.
Okay.
So that one's definitely got a lot of caramel.
Yeah, that one's
Vanilla, caramel.
vanilla caramel. I agree with that. Oh, this one's feels like dirtier.
Yeah, this one's like a little bit more mentholy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to say this is the Reposado right
You think so?
there. Yeah.
In the middle?
Ooh. I feel like this is,
You think that's the one? I actually think that this one,
I don't know.
these two are very similar. So the big glass and the small glass. I don't know. I don't see. Again, I don't know tequila. But
This one's the 1942.
the big glass.
That's the 1942. This is the Añejo, and this is the Reposado.
So I'm just going to be a little bit different here.
Okay.
I don't know. I might need to taste them, but I'm going to
Yeah.
say I'm going to flip the 2 there.
Okay, so where's this one for you?
I'm thinking this is the Añejo Reposado 1942.
Okay. So Añejo, Reposado, 1942.
So let's both try the one we think is the
Same.
same. And then maybe should we ask her if
Yeah.
this is the right one? Okay.
Yeah.
If she's like, this is 1942, then we're just fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth, but it does have a little bit of a finish to it. Not much, though. It's pretty smooth. I don't know.
Well, do you want to try the other ones
I think we should try
first
the other
before
ones
we ask
first.
her?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go. Let's go here.
Okay, let's go here.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see what this one is. Oh, interesting.
That one's pretty sweet.
That one is very sweet. I do get some of those grass flavors that they're talking about out of this one, though.
I'm going to drink some champagne to get rid of some
I'm
of
gonna
the
drink
flavor.
some water here.
You go to water, I'll go to champagne.
There we go. Yeah, it's very hard when you have one and then have another one right
Yeah.
after to be able to kind of really pull those differences out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is
I don't
very
know.
sweet, though.
Yeah, that one is sweet. All right.
All right, this is the one that you think. I mean, I think you're looking at the bigger glass, and you're just like, "Ooh, bigger glass." It's
No,
gotta
this
be
one
it.
smells so good though.
It does smell good,
And it's darker
It smells
in
very
color.
caramely.
Do you see like the aged? It's darker.
Oh, it is.
That's why I picked
It
this.
is darker.
Yeah.
It is extremely darker.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is the 1942. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. It tastes completely different than the other two.
Yep.
You think you got it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, should we see if we got it right?
Yeah. Let's see how bad I
Okay.
did.
Here, let's, okay.
What's she doing?
Yeah, I don't know. She's
Got a knife.
got a knife. What are you doing over there? You cutting something? Can you tell us which is which? Oh. Yep.
The
Ding ding ding
Glencairn?
ding ding. Oh wait.
Yep.
Shot glass is the reposado.
Yeah, and then the little flight glass is the white one.
Oh, really? The anejo?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
That's-
I got
you
it.
got it.
Yeah, I got it.
She got it. She's good. Whoop.
I'm gonna take the
Much.
1942.
You're gonna see. I like to let it wait to last, so I'm gonna do the other ones.
I don't know if I can drink all of these.
Oh well, they're only
be like,
half ounce,
Whoa.
so
yeah.
it's less than technically. If you were to get a margarita, it's less.
Yeah.
Than would be a margarita.
That's true.
But
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna push you to drink. You do what you can do.
That's funny. No, these are very good.
Yeah.
I
No.
love the 1942.
Yeah, and Don Julio, it's definitely a smoother tequila than I had thought it would be. To be perfectly honest, I was thinking it was going to be a little harsher, especially on like the reposado,
Yeah.
which is harsh, than the other two,
Yeah.
but definitely not a harsh tequila at all.
No, it's really good. I'm gonna grab my phone because I want to see if I can get some history on.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. And I'll go ahead and talk about. Let's talk about the 1942 here. So the tasting notes that they give us are deep straw gold, which is comparable to many añejos, though lighter than some. What's cool? They spend the rest of their warmer environment, or they spend their rest, so when they're in the barrel, in a warmer environment than most whiskeys do. So the aged tequilas generally sit for just 1 to 3 years, often in second, third, and fourth use bourbon barrels. So that's interesting. So I wonder how that works with like a fourth use bourbon barrel. I'm assuming that they only used it for bourbon once.
Yeah.
And then what else was it used for?
Usually it's sent overseas, and like Scotland will use it
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. But they're saying it's a fourth use.
Fourth use, yeah. Often in second, third, and fourth use bourbon barrels, resulting in a lighter, clearer color than most whiskeys or rums.
Yeah, because by the time they get to the fourth use, the barrel's spent.
Oh, yeah.
know?
Absolutely. So on the nose, it says grassy agave notes, lost to the wood, or sometimes they're lost to the wood. It says that floral aromatics, sweet fruit, almost like a cognac. I can see that. I can see this
Yeah.
is almost like a cognac. I love cognac, and this is actually very similar.
Cognac is grape.
Especially, it has that almost like syrupy
Yeah.
kind of feel to it, so a little bit thicker. Rose, pear, vanilla, brown sugar
I'm getting brown sugar, definitely.
with agave and rich wet oak. That's on the nose. On the palate, sweetness again through the agave grassiness is more pronounced. Up front on the lips and gums are tannic spices and vanilla from the oak. Mid palate, it sits with a medium weight and slight chewiness, with hints of apricot, agave, vanilla, and clove. Then it says it has a very long finish. But I don't get that. I don't get a long finish out of this.
No.
Says there's a menthol brightness tempered with grapefruit, agave wood, and white pepper.
Huh.
So do you have some history for us?
Yeah, so this is named Don Julio because it's named after the founder, who is Don Julio Gonzalez.
Yes.
He founded in Jalisco, Jalisco, where you can only make tequila.
Yep, makes sense. Good place to start a tequila place, where the town you can make it in.
Yeah. And then he began distilling tequila in 1942. That's why it's called 1942.
That makes sense.
He was
Ooh.
17 at the time. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's young. But in 1942, I mean, still
Yeah.
though, 1942, that's still young.
Yeah. So let's see. Don Julio history.
Let's see. So it says he and his family produced a popular label in Mexico called Trace I don't even want to try to pronounce that. Magui's? I'm sorry. But before releasing the good stuff, his family reserve so it was a family reserve. So
Okay.
maybe he like inherited it. It says the family, along with then head distiller Enrique de Colsa, released Don Julio 1942 in 2002, commemorating Gonzalez's 60 years in the industry.
Wow.
And then the label was fully acquired by Diego in 2015.
Yeah. Diego has a lot.
Yeah. It says the regular añejo goes for about $50 to $60, significantly cheaper than the 1942, and the primary difference between the two being the aging between 18. Well, it says the regular añejo is between 18 and 24 months, and so I guess minimum 18. And then the 1942 is exclusively distilled in the brand's smallest. Oh, so it's their smallest still. Pot Still 6, which produces 3 barrels per cycle.
Oh, wow.
Side by side, the colors of the 1942 and the Añejo are nearly identical to some, but the aromatics of the 1942 are more complex. The core Añejo smells more like a traditional Añejo with faint agave notes beneath a wood overtone.
So they can only do 3 barrels at a time in that.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
probably why it's $140 a bottle.
Yeah.
And that's if you
you
can
gotta
find
think
it.
about it too. Like, that's kind of why, with the whiskey world, just because something's super expensive doesn't mean it's necessarily like the best
No,
whiskey in the world. But
Not at all.
it's the same thing, rarity of it.
Exactly. So, I mean, they have to charge more because they don't make as much of it. So, and of course, the aging makes it just
Rare.
more rare.
It's
yeah.
so interesting because if you think about it, like somebody who is a master distiller maybe starts becoming a master distiller when he's, or she is, I don't know, let's say 40.
Sure.
Then they got to have something age. How many times in
Yeah.
their lifetime are they going to see their product? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's so crazy.
Yeah, like some of these like Pappy 20 plus whatevers, like you're not going to get a lot of those.
No, you might get like maybe one, maybe two.
I mean, I guess technically if you like go back to back to back to back to back, then you could get them once the 23 years has surpassed or whatever it is. But still, that's a long time to wait for
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
That's hard.
That's crazy.
If I were to do something like this, I would definitely take like one of my first bottles and age it some ridiculous amount of time, like 20 years.
A bourbon or a whiskey? Or,
Oh, I mean, I'd be fine with a whiskey doing that, but
yeah.
I don't know about a bourbon.
You might come out and only get like a gallon out of the barrel.
I know, right? Exactly. It's
Or the
gonna
barrel
be,
might break.
Barrel might break or be, and that's the other thing too.
Yeah, breakage.
Breakage or leakage or all
Well,
sorts
for
of other
20 year,
things
yeah.
for a 20-year. I mean, there's so many things that could happen in that period of
Yeah.
time to a barrel. Are
Angel
you kidding
shares
me?
lost. And,
Yeah, that angel gets bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah. So, well, you average about 5% a year. The first year you lose a lot. And then after that, it's like, maybe 4% a year or
Okay.
whatever. It's usually like 5% for the first year or whatever. And then could go like 3%, 4%.
Probably why there aren't
after.
like 50-year bottles of anything, because
No,
there's just
I
no
mean-
way it could last that long.
Yeah, you end up with a cup.
Yeah.
Of
Very expensive. Maybe if you just get a giant barrel, though. I don't know. I don't know. So everything, lots of things I'm seeing talk about the bottle, which, I mean, here it is. It's definitely different, but actually isn't that much left of that. Should we just finish this thing off?
Sorry, Josh.
Let's see. He told me he didn't have very good service where he was at, so hopefully
so he
that's
doesn't
continuing.
even know. Yeah, that's only a little bit.
Yeah,
of that
only a little bit. We'll just finish it off. No big deal. So here, let's see. It says one of the brand's most popular expressions in the U.S. is the 1942. Leaves drinkers wondering what was done to emphasize the floral and sweet notes in the Don Julio, but they say so. Apparently, there is a little bit of caramel coloring added to the product.
Well, you can tell it's much darker.
Yeah, but they say it's very, very little, and it's only to standardize the color. Impart. They say it imparts no flavor to it.
Okay.
So, yeah, perfectly appropriate for a well-aged tequila. So one other thing they say is, where was it? Oh, that it's reading. Oh, so they say that you should, like when you're enjoying the 1942, you should do it with some sort of fruit. So they specifically say like eating it with a pineapple, a grapefruit, a blood orange. They say those types of things will bring out more of the umami flavor of the tequila.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, sort of when you're pairing wine, like,
yeah. It's interesting that they won't pair it with fruit. Because when I think umami, I think almost like a truffle kind of flavor. Do you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
unami.
Like,
You're looking at like if you're doing a charcuterie board, you're looking at the meats, the cheeses.
Yeah.
So like that's considered umami. So like in mushroom.
Mushroom, yeah. So that's kind of the direction I go. Exactly, meats, cheeses, mushroom. Not necessarily fruit, but that doesn't mean that the fruit. I guess the fruit helps bring out the umami flavor somehow.
So when you're
I don't
doing
know.
wine, if you have a sweet wine and you pair it with sweet, you get less.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
that makes sense.
So you're bringing out other things.
So you're doing basically the opposite of the umami flavor to help bring out that umami
Yeah,
flavor.
the other flavors. You're not just getting the sweet because you already got the
See?
sweet.
I'm thinking pairing, you want it to be something that is similar to what you're
So
drinking.
if you did
but I like
salty,
that.
if you did something that was salty with that or something that was the opposite,
Yep.
all you taste is the sweet.
Sure.
But if you bring the sweet and then you try it with the sweet, you're going to taste the other flavors that come out from it. I know it was super
makes
confusing
sense.
because I study wine too. When we talked about pairing wine, it was like a sweet wine, you'd pair something sweet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, that doesn't make any sense. But then I realized it's because the other sweet lets the sweet wine, you're not tasting as much of that sweet. Something else is bringing it to the table.
You're
you know
bringing
what I mean?
out more
The
of the
other flavors,
flavors
yeah.
to the wine. Interesting. So if you're drinking something that's complex, like let's say like a complex whiskey that has like a lot of peppery flavor, would it make sense to have something peppery to kind of bring out the other flavors around?
You
the
mean peppery like spice, like? Or
Yeah, like a spicy kind of. I don't know if it works like that. I'm just spitballing here because, we don't have cigars on this episode.
Well, one of the
So
things you got to
just
be
thinking.
careful of, especially with like high alcohol, high proof
Yeah.
alcohols, is spice.
Okay.
Because the more spice you introduce to pair with, like say you're doing a whiskey or something that's high in alcohol,
Yeah.
all you get is more burn. Like spice brings out burn. So that's why if
So
you're
you don't
eating
wanna do
spicy
that.
foods with
Don't
wine or alcohol, I mean with
You're just wasting
whiskey,
your money.
Yeah, you're just getting more burn.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
But that's why chocolate goes good with whiskey or bourbon.
that makes sense. Yeah. Very sweet.
Yeah, it brings out all those flavors.
savory-ish. Yeah. Brings out a lot of that. Oh. Wow.
And it was really
Very
funny
good to
though
know.
when we did that spicy chocolate. Remember when we paired it with the Angel's Envy? And it tastes like gingerbread.
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of interesting.
I remember that. That was interesting.
Yeah, gave it like more spices to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the chocolate itself wasn't like hot.
No,
It just
no,
had
no,
the
no. It
flavor.
wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It's almost. It's hard to describe. Yeah, it had kind of the I guess the pepperiness kind of
Yeah.
flavor to it,
Or spice.
or spice. Yeah, but it wasn't like spicy.
Yeah, like my mouth didn't burn.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. It didn't trigger my mouth into thinking it was on fire, like
Right.
a lot of other things do.
Yeah. So that spice like enhanced the spices of Angel's Envy and made it like gingerbread.
Yeah.
I remember being like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Tastes like we're eating gingerbread candies or something, or gingerbread house.
No, it was good. It was good.
It was so good.
We should definitely figure out what we're going to do next that'll pair well with the
Yeah.
chocolate. Because I was thinking, because I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I asked Josh, I was like, what are we doing? He's like, whatever. And of course, that doesn't help. I'm like, oh, okay, you only have like 82 whiskeys here to choose from.
Yeah.
It should only take me 3 hours to figure out which
Wait,
one I want.
how come you didn't let me know that? He said whatever? What's
I
it?
did. I sent it on the group chat.
Darn it.
And I said, Josh, hey, I think my exact text was, boss says we can have whatever. Thoughts? Question mark.
I wish I wasn't at work. I would have.
And I didn't get a response.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. What would you have chosen to
I
drink?
don't know. I got to look at all that.
Because
That's so much.
I think
It's almost
I mean,
overwhelming when you look at some of the stuff. You're like,
there's so many bottles up
I
there.
know so much I want
and,
to try.
I can't show everyone here, but
Yeah.
well, maybe actually, let me see if I can spin this around here and switch over to the other camera. See if I can do my job. I don't know. There we go. So you can. It looks like a bright mess, but where all that light is are a lot of bottles of whiskey. So yeah. Anyway, that didn't work. Sorry.
Blanton's Gold.
That's what you think you would do? Blanton's Gold?
I'm a big Blanton's girl.
Really? But you don't like the dark rye.
I don't like the dark rye. I did not like it.
Interesting. Is the Blanton's Gold, is that like a high-end Blanton's?
Yeah.
Like what does a bottle of Blanton's Gold go for?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Let's see
Let's
real
look it up.
quick. I'm thinking if it's,
It's got to be like over 100.
let's see, Blanton's Gold.
Yeah. It's like in the $200 range.
Blanton's Gold. I don't even, it didn't show up on liquor.com. But yeah, $200 range. Is that retail though? Or
I don't know.
let's see. Blanton's Gold MSRP. $120 is the MSRP.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's
over
not
100.
much.
Not bad.
That's cheaper than the Don Julio.
Yeah.
Have we tried Blanton's Gold here on the podcast?
No.
I don't think we have. Well, I mean, we do have a lot of time left on the podcast.
I feel like if he said we can.
And Josh just, my phone doesn't work anymore. What are all these texts from Josh? I don't know. But
Don't try
I don't think it's
Blanton's
working. My phone's not working right now. And so I think we're going to try the Gold. Do you want to?
He has it, right? I remember him saying
I think I don't know. Well, yeah, go up and see
All
if
right.
you can find it.
I'm sure I can.
Or if not, something similar.
Okay.
And let's give it a try.
All right.
Nothing too crazy, like a little 6-ounce pour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like we should just fill up the whole Glencairn.
Yeah, just the whole thing. That'll work.
All right, I'll go find out.
All right. So, in the meantime, I will go over here and I will see what I can talk about with this thing, because I actually know nothing about the Blanton's Gold other than the price. So let's see, Blanton's Gold. Let's look at the Bourbon Finder. Let's see what they say. Yes, I'm over 21. Been for a long time. It looks like summer of 2020, it hit the United States at $120 MSRP. And let's see. There we go. It's released from Sazerac. which does all of the Blantons. It is attempting to... Here we go. Okay. Ooh, this looks fancy. Let's see. It's Blanton's Single Barrel Gold Edition, 103 proof. It was an international product, but I guess Buffalo Trace fans said, when is it going to be in the U.S.? So they released it. Apparently, regular Blanton's is 93 proof, so this is an extra 5% or 10 proof. And it says, we've seen Blanton's soar in popularity over the last few years, and fans have asked us for the gold version in the U.S. too. We're thrilled to fulfill their requests this summer. So the 103 proof Blanton's Gold Edition, it's the same recipe as the original Blanton's. This bottle looks actually very similar. It has the horse and jockey on the top in the various poses. So I guess it does it. It's pretty much... Yeah, and they have each of the letters that spell out the word Blanton. So if you're a collector, this one's gonna get expensive to find them all. It says Blanton's Single Barrel Bourbon is the world's first single barrel bourbon, created in 1984 by Elmer T. Lee, named after former distillery president Colonel Albert B. Blanton. Elmer recalled how Colonel Blanton would handpick honey barrels. So that's kind of interesting that they came from honey barrels from the center cut of Warehouse H for many parties that Blanton held. And many years later, the distillery called upon Elmer to create a new bourbon in 1984, and Blanton's was born. So that's just regular Blanton's. The gold, obviously, is a little bit stronger proof. It says it's worth noting that some have called into question as to whether Blanton's was truly the first single barrel. And they were. Last year... Oh, so we were just talking about this. So last year, there was a 1950s era Blanton's handpicked by the man himself with a Kentucky tax stamp validating the bottle had been in distribution. So they were definitely the number one... Ooh, there it is. So, and that is, sorry, get your headphones on. Okay. That is the gold.
This is the gold. I took a full ounce for both of us.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't.
Each?
No, I didn't. He would kill us.
Yeah, he won't even watch this episode.
There was barely any left in there.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay,
there's maybe...
Then maybe he'd get mad if we took the last of it.
I'm going to say there's maybe 2.5 ounces. So we only took a half and then we split it.
So what I'm seeing here is, it looks like Blanton's has a very similar bottle with all the horses. The big difference,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not done with mine. So one of the big differences is the proof. So regular Blanton's is 93 proof, but the gold is 103
It's
proof.
higher, yeah.
So about 5% more alcohol. That's
Yeah.
really the only, it's single barrel.
Same mash bill.
Same mash bill as the Blanton's.
Yeah, I just wonder where
So-
it's stored, though.
Oh, so did mention something about honey barrel. Let me see, what is it? Said something about H. Mentioned H. I don't know.
So that's where the Blanton's...
That's where the Blanton's
yeah.
is? Okay.
I just meant, level-wise. I went, there's usually the middle is the honey pot, so usually
Yeah,
it's
that's what it said, the middle.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see what this says. Leah's always told stories of how Blanton handpicked barrels with friends. Yeah, this is all just regular Blanton stuff, though. I want to hear about
Why it's
the
gold.
gold.
Here, let's look it up.
Let's see.
This is the gold edition. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Bottle. I don't have one of the, I've never
You don't have a
tried.
gold?
No, and I've never been able to try the gold either.
So it looks just like a Blanton's bottle, except it's actually all gold.
right. And then the horse is gold.
Yeah. The
Whereas-
horse is gold
yeah.
and the rim is gold, whereas the other one, it's what, like a...
It's more like a
Brown,
pewter,
black.
like a pewter kind of like.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's
I thought it was darker for some reason, but maybe
No,
not.
it's
Maybe
like,
it's like a silver.
yeah. It's like kind of silver, but it
Okay.
kind of still has a little bit of a like coppery. I don't know. It's different. but more darker color. This one's all gold.
So interesting that they give this an A minus
Really?
on the Bourbon Finder. Says, well, this is a fun pour, one hell of a sipper, and something that leaves us constantly going back to swirl, inspect, and sip again. Very impressive what a few proof points can do to transform an already well-liked product into a more premium one. If you have the chance to get a bottle of Blanton's Gold Edition, we fully recommend it. So, pretty good. And yeah, that's really all it says, at least on this website. There's probably more places to find additional information on this one, but this one does tell me what I should see on the nose and the taste and the finish. So I want to try to smell it and see. I mean, so it does say a bit of ethanol up front. Of course, with a higher proof, you're going to get that. That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, you can feel the little bit of burn in your nostrils when you're...
Yeah, when you're smelling it. But
Yeah, whereas like normal Blantons, I mean, I drink regular Blantons all the time.
Sure.
I have it at home. I drink it all the time. But so like when I when I smell it, it's much sweeter.
yeah.
It's like
okay.
honey.
Nice.
It's and this is definitely
honey. You can smell honey in here.
yeah, but the gold edition is more ethanol. Like you're
okay. Yeah.
there's a little bit more going on. Like it's almost like you're getting the back. Like if you smell mint and you get that like menthol up into the nose, I'm getting much more of that.
Gotcha. Yep. I agree with that.
Whereas when I'm drinking Blanton's and I'm smelling it, not the gold edition, the regular single barrel, it's all you can smell is like honey.
Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely a sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Even though you, like you said, you get that ethanol, but there is a sweetness to it.
Yeah, you can still smell like the sweeter notes, but you get a little bit more burn in the nose.
Yeah. So I mean, so I'm gonna look and see because
It's sort of like menthol.
yeah. So I get apples. It does say apples on here. I definitely smell it like apples, but that said, I just got apples today, so maybe that could be why, because I was just smelling apples.
Yeah, I'm not getting apple. I'm definitely getting like honey, caramel, but
Any
a little bit of
vanilla?
that. Yeah, vanilla, but a little bit more of that burn in the nose than.
Okay.
And it's only because I'm pretty familiar with, Blanton's that
Yeah.
I can smell the
Again,
difference.
same mash bill, same aging. It's really just the amount of, I guess, alcohol content in
You
it.
can smell oak a little bit,
Yeah.
whereas you can't normally in the other.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give it a shot here.
More char.
Okay.
Yep, more char.
Yeah.
Char. Toast oak.
It's really good.
It is good.
It's really good.
The finish lingers, but it's not the char finish lingering. It's
Yeah. So
sweet.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like you can feel it for a good period of time. I don't know. I didn't count, but at least 8 or 9 seconds. But it's not burning during that time. You can just kind of still feel that it's like sitting there on your throat. I don't really feel it going down and burning like 100+ proof normally would. But that's
I can
just
feel
me.
that it is.
Yeah,
100,
maybe
yeah.
I need a bigger sip. I don't
Yeah,
know.
take a
Maybe
bigger-
I'll get
roll it
let me
around
get
a little
another
bit.
one.
Roll it around a little bit, and you'll feel it on your tongue. It's got a little burn to it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that roll really brings the burn out.
yeah.
But I mean, again, that honey, you can taste it for sure. Let's see. So rich and full-bodied, vanilla and honey, poured over bright fruit. Again, I feel like the sweetness, I can't like really pinpoint any fruits. Like I didn't taste any apple in there, even though it says green apple.
I'm tasting it now. So if you roll it around, let that
Do it again.
char, and then just keep. I'm getting apple, but I'm having to like sit there and take my tongue and
Okay.
Now I get it.
Again, I'm counting it out because I just smelled apple. So maybe it is. Maybe it is apple. Nice oak, vanilla. Again, I'm getting sweetness. I don't really pinpoint vanilla necessarily, but
Honey.
the honey, yeah.
It's not too far off from.
I guess they're similar.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but
I'm just not good at this.
no, well,
But-
sometimes I have a hard time with like tobacco and leather and.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, those are crazy. So it does say it has a longer finish.
Mm-hmm.
Added proof points over the standard Blanton single barrel does this juice plenty of justice. Let's see. It says it lets the finish hang right on. The oak and mild spice gives way to sweet fruit, and there's still the brief cotton candy note that this person says they grabbed from some Blanton's barrels.
I have tasted. Thought it was bubble gum,
Mm-hmm.
but it does like regular. Like my Blanton is at home.
Yeah.
I do get. I don't know. I can't tell if
Cotton
it's
candy?
I can't. I never
No?
placed
Yeah.
cotton candy, but maybe that's what I'm tasting because like I thought it was more like bubble gum, like I don't know if it was like strawberry bubble gum or something. There's
Okay.
something in there that is definitely unique that I can taste every now and then, but it's not in every sip. Most of the time,
Yeah.
I just taste honey
Okay.
and Blanton's, and this does have some familiar flavors as the gold does, as the single barrel buck traditional. But I feel like this one, the char is way more prominent.
Yeah.
You're getting
yeah.
a lot of char.
Okay. I can see that.
Very silky.
Yeah. Very smooth. Again, for 103 proof, I get the char, and I guess when I swish it around my mouth, I definitely feel more of that, burn to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's still pretty smooth for the proof that it is.
Yeah, it really is. It's very good. Although I think I'm still.
You like the original Blanton's better than the gold?
It's funny. I think I do.
Interesting. Okay.
It's
Well,
just
again,
the char is a little strong on this
yeah,
one.
yeah. No, this one's definitely a bigger boy. A little bit more harshness to it, maybe I would say a little bit. I mean, again, it's a higher proof.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it's a little bit harder to drink.
And I like kind of like I'm not like a big like for instance if I drink Booker's I'm adding a little bit of water to that. Like I can't do like anything that's super high proof. But
I wonder if you add a little water to this, if it would make
well, we might
make
have
it
to go
back to
get more.
Blanton's. Yeah, I think we're just gonna finish this bottle off. All right.
It's only a
Well,
couple
we're not gonna do it on
ounces.
the episode though.
Yeah.
We'll just
I mean, I probably should have tried that with water because, like, I feel like, whenever we drink some of those bourbons that are in the 90 to 95 range, even closer to 97, I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Like I'm still picking up a lot of the flavors, and then when it starts getting into like the 100 proof, I'm like, woo, okay, like
Yeah, it starts
little-
really
yeah, starting to burn a little bit.
getting out there.
Like when we did the Old Forester, though, that was really good.
Yeah.
Super high proof.
True.
So I was having a hard time picking up all the flavors because my mouth was like, whoa,
Ah,
I had to
wish
take
I
like
could.
4 sips of it first before I could even taste anything.
I want to say it was the Old Forester person that was here way long time ago, like when we first started almost. And they had brought out, like the guy came on the episode, talked about all this stuff. I want to say it was Old Forester, but I don't know what it was. But he gave us like a big history of everything. Maybe it was something else. I don't want to say it's Old Forester because it could be completely wrong. And then
Do you remember what the history was?
I don't remember any of it.
Oh.
This was long. This was like episode 3 or something. It was like
Oh.
way back. But the cool thing was after we shut down, he had like this bottle of, it was like a birthday bottle that there were only, I don't know, a couple hundred of them made or
It
something
sounds like Old
that.
Forester. I think they have the birthday.
Maybe that's what it was.
Okay.
And it was like a special one, and he let it, and he, poured it for us, and it was so good.
Really?
But yeah, I am pretty sure it was Old Forester.
Let me see if I can't remember. I think they do have one that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it was. He's like, yeah, you can't get this.
No, that sounds about right.
So that could definitely be it. So we need to get that guy back on the show because that
Did it look like? Well,
yeah, it says it's $150 a bottle for the birthday.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of not being able to get it.
Yeah, and you can't get it. That's the other problem. And then some of these I'm looking are selling for over $1,500 for a bottle of this stuff.
Yeah, because people are trying to buy it online, and
yeah, there's like no way. And that was 96 proof, so that was higher than what you're going to get out of a normal Old Forester, but it was so good.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's the birthday bottle, so that was made for that one time, and then,
yeah, exactly, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
So that one's 96 proof.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my favorite, right in that range.
Right in that range, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what Blanton's is 93, I think we said.
Yeah, I think
somewhere
it's like
in there.
93.6 or something. I have the tasting notes right here.
Yeah, see, so you can. I mean, I feel like it's going to be very similar, other than the higher proof is obviously going to change things a little bit. But plus, you never know what barrel you're going to get it out of.
Yeah.
It's all.
I think I actually have my barrel written down too.
Oh, interesting.
Of the different ones that I've tried. I just bought we just got another bottle when they had that big drop at.
Yeah, I missed it. I tried. I showed up the next morning and they were gone. Like they opened up and the guy was like, "Yeah, they're gone." Well,
I was lucky enough to have Kelly's girlfriend.
Oh yeah, she went and got some.
Yeah, that was so nice of her.
Yes.
It's pretty nice.
And now they're gone.
I know, it's so sad.
But we'll see them again very soon.
I don't all my whiskeys. Of course, I can't find my Blanton's right now. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, yeah. I have the first one I had was bottle 169.
Oh.
So, yeah, 93 proof.
Okay.
So, honey, caramel, roses. We did say there was roses. Yeah. Cinnamon, baking spices.
Okay.
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum.
I did get bubblegum. I did get rose, which was, I didn't remember, but I did get rose, honey, caramel. This is the first time I tried it. And then in the finish, I tasted some dry oak peppercorn. I don't remember. This is a long time ago.
Should we try the regular Blantons so we can compare the difference?
Do you think John's going to get mad at us?
I think that's what we need to do.
I think so. I think we do. Do you want me to go get some?
Yes.
All right.
Just a small pour, like 2 ounces. Am I getting how many who's I don't boss man. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have service anyway.
I'm not going to get another Glencairn, but I'll
No. Yeah, or actually if you want to bring some of these back over there. Well, you can actually bring those over too.
I already finished.
Yeah. This is my tequila one. I had finished that as well. So I'm thinking the Blantons, I think we've tried Blantons on here before, but we've never compared it to the gold. So I'm leaving a little bit of gold left in mine so I can go ahead and do this comparison. Then after that, I think we're going to call it a show. We're up here. We're hitting the hour mark, so that's pretty good for 2 people. It's a little more difficult, but let me bring up so we're talking about the Old Forester birthday. I don't know where you can even find that. However, it is, there are some places online that say you can get it, but the problem is I've tried these before and every time I'm like, oh, they say they have it in stock, and you click like 15 things and then you get to where you're actually going to buy it and it's like out of stock. And I'm like, okay, I just wasted. Oh, so the one that said $129 when I click on the website, it actually shows me it's $999 for the Old Forester birthday bourbon. And in addition to that, it's already sold out anyway. So even at $9.99, but they do have a coupon for $15 off. So, but yeah, they don't have it in stock. So I feel like that's really the way of a lot of these. We have seen a couple, at least in New Hampshire, we've seen a couple times where they've come through and done, a little. They try to do these things where you enter like a raffle, and if you're picked, then you can go ahead and buy these things. So you'll go ahead and say, okay, I agree to buy, these 15 different items. So the problem is, if you win them, you have to buy them. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to buy, everything and just select everything. Because if they select you, you do have to actually buy it. So tend to try to choose only the ones that you really actually want to get. But it's kind of neat. And again, in New Hampshire, it's the government that sells all of the alcohol. So you don't really have a choice in going to different places and hoping that someone might have something that someone else doesn't. If you go to different towns, they could have different things. But for the most part, it's, they try to spread it out pretty evenly throughout. So here we are with the regular Blantons. Cheers.
Cheers.
We will, let me switch over. I was just talking about the birthday. All right.
Oh,
regular
yeah.
Blantons. I mean, I get
honey.
Oh, I get way more honey. Here, I'm assuming you drank yours. Don't you dare drink that. But smell the difference between that and the Blantons.
Oh,
I mean, it's so strong with the honey.
I guess that is more honey, huh?
Crazy. I mean, to me, yeah.
No, it really does smell like more honey. Maybe it's just smooth.
Yeah, it smells a lot smoother, but as we know, that doesn't always mean it tastes a lot smoother. But this one should taste smoother because it's less proof.
Yeah.
And it does.
It does.
It does. It's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Like, no question.
But now that I'm smelling that, the honey is stronger on that one.
Honey is stronger. And I'm actually going to, I'm going to have to disagree with you.
You like the other one?
I like the gold better, personally. Not that I don't love the Blantons, but I do love the gold in comparing these two. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I get a lot of similar tastes on it.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to either of them, but
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But for me personally, if given the choice, I would go the gold because I'm still getting, a pepperiness to this.
yeah.
It's not like it's like super smooth.
I feel like this is more pepper. That's more char.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
This one's a little smoother.
Definitely easier to drink.
Yeah. Because you get a
Hands
lot
down.
of char on the other one,
You do.
on the gold.
Yes. But,
I like them both.
yeah. So I guess the question is, would you pay 3 times the price for the gold? Or I guess 2.5 times the price for the gold.
It has to be like a celebration.
Sure. But then you're just buying it to buy it. You're not buying it because you like the
No,
taste better.
I mean, I'm totally happy with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I am too. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I can see the difference. Like, taste-wise, too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
This one's char, honey, vanilla. This one does have a little bit more peppery now that I'm tasting it.
You're saying the gold one is char, honey, vanilla,
Yeah,
and the regular is
more pepper.
more pepper.
Yeah. It's definitely smooth.
It's smooth.
The gold is definitely a little bit more heat. You're getting a little bit more of that char. Lingers a little bit more.
I'm not getting a lot of the like sweetness out of this one though, out of the regular Blantons, which is surprising because I thought with the lower proof that the more of the fruity flavors would come out, but I don't really get that as much as I did with the gold.
Yeah, that one definitely has fruitier flavors.
Yeah. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Same mash bill, you know, same aging, just a little bit less water added to it, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
or
know.
well, placement too.
And placement. That's yeah, absolutely.
Is it near a window?
That's true. Is it near
Is
an
it-
event? Is
yeah.
it?
How hot did it get to that area? How, there's so
Yeah.
many different things.
That's what I was saying. If I were to set up a distillery and I was aging in barrels, I would want to have like temperature sensors at all different parts of the room to know, like, let's say the east side of the room is 2 degrees colder than the west side of the room, and it's say a year. I would want 6 months on one side of the room and then switch them and do 6 months on the other, so there's more of a consistency between the barrels.
I mean, Maker's Mark is one of the bourbons that still moves their barrels around. Not a lot of them do it anymore. And, well, because you have
When you're doing like 18,000 barrels or whatever, obviously it doesn't make sense to spend that much time.
Well, not only that, there's risk of barrel breakage. There's,
That's true too, yeah. Leakage.
Leakage. But the thing is like we had talked about last week, most bourbons are blended. So
Yeah,
you're
that's true,
taking,
too.
unless you're doing a single barrel,
Correct. Yes.
what you're
yes.
talking about.
Yes, what I'm talking about is for a single barrel.
Single barrel.
Yes.
But I mean, for the most part, they do have temperature around the whole entire rick house or
Yeah.
iron whatever.
Sure.
But the thing is like when they blend them, they're taking like a bourbon from up here to moving it and blending it, or they're blending it with one that might be down at the bottom
True.
with so
And I guess, like,
there's a science to it.
Yeah, and once you have your flavors and your, everything is solidified and you're good with what you have, I feel like, yeah, let's duplicate the process. But I want to know how to duplicate the process. So I want to know, this barrel was at 82 degrees on Wednesday, while this one was at 80 degrees.
Yeah.
So this one tastes a little bit different than that one, or something like that. Like, obviously,
yeah.
that's like hyper focused, but over the course of maybe a 3-year period or a 4-year period when you're aging them, you can get that data and look and try the differences, and then whichever one you like more, you can be like, oh, I like this one that was a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Or I like that one that was, spun, or I like that one that they were playing Metallica music to it,
Or
know?
Ocean, Jefferson's. They're in
Oh,
the middle
that's right.
of the ocean.
They have the
Yeah.
barrel on a boat,
They have a boat,
and it's moving around with the ocean.
Yeah.
So all sorts of different things that you can do with these barrels.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, they do have people that are doing this. They're keeping track
absolutely,
of like. there's
I'm
like
just
a
saying, if
science
you
to
were
it.
like to start small
Oh,
scale,
yeah.
I would still want to do that. Hint, hint. If you get what I'm saying.
Right, but some do have temperature control,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean it's needed, especially if you have extreme temperatures up and down. But the thing
Yeah.
is like most of them, if you go to the distilleries, they just
Yeah.
leave their windows open.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I don't necessarily want temperature control.
Right.
I just want the knowledge of the temperature. I want the data so I can go back and look and say, this is my favorite barrel. This is exactly the temperatures that it had compared to the others. Let's try to do that.
Yeah.
Whatever we did with that one that I love, let's do it again and try to replicate it. And I think if you have more data, you have a better shot at replicating that and actually getting, that same flavor out
But
of a
on
single
the
barrel.
argument side, on the other side too, is you got to think about it. When you have something that's that sweet spot and you
Yeah.
make it,
Yeah,
and you only have that certain amount, that's what makes it a beautiful thing.
true.
Because that is like a special time. That's a special. Do we want to duplicate that all the time, or do we just want to make that our special spot? You know what I mean?
Ooh, interesting outlook to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make money.
Yeah.
So yes, duplicate it as much as humanly possible, please.
Sometimes those barrels, though, that were the sweet spot are the ones that make all the money. You never know.
It's true. That's true.
Never know.
To have that high-end Don Julio 1942 or Blanton's Gold or
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, those are the ones that people look at and that you can't get on the shelves, you know?
That's true. That's very true. Well, I think it's been a great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we actually went a lot longer than I thought we would. And we tried, I mean, and you brought the glasses back a couple times. So we've
Yeah.
tried a lot. There's a lot of glasses here. Yeah. So I think we're going to just do one more.
What are we doing?
We are going to do the Pappies.
What?
20. No. We're going to do that after the show.
Okay, quiet.
Well, thank you for coming again.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you next week with a bigger cast.
I feel like we should start talking about the fact that we're going to be all traveling together.
Yes. So that was the thing. I wanted to bring it up, but at the same time, I didn't want to bring it up without them.
I know.
You know?
I know.
So, but for those of you that actually listened to the whole episode, give you a little treat here and listen past the time when I said I was about to stop it. We were invited to go to the Jack, which is Jack Daniel's International Barbecue. We are going to be doing media there. So we're going to have our podcast. We are going to be doing interviews. We are going to get you some behind the scenes. We are going to be doing
Barbecue tasting,
barbecue tasting, if we can get our hands on that.
hopefully.
We're going to be trying to do as much as we possibly can and give that back to you, the people that actually watch this, and maybe there'll be some more. Apparently there's 40,000 people going to this thing, so it's kind of a big deal. There's not going to be anyone like us there doing a podcast or doing interviews or doing any of the stuff. So it's going to be very exciting for us. This is one of our first large opportunities to do something on a scale this big. So we'll see how we do, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. We're also going to do what I'm going to try to do is a lot of production, which we don't really do a lot of right now. Typically we do the episodes and we post them and we walk away. The difference here is now I'm going to be trying to go out and have, maybe you'll be doing an interview with someone and we'll have somebody else doing maybe on a tripod, maybe, going around with a gimbal or something like that. And we'll get a nice little interview. We'll have microphones and everything, so it's nice and clear.
Yeah.
And then once we have that, we'll pull that, send it back to me at the booth, and I'll have my computer ready. We'll throw it in here. I'll cut it up, edit it, and post it as soon as we can. So
very cool.
we'll have those kind of coming out as soon as we can. I don't know if we got the okay on the T-shirt cannon, but
That would be fun.
that would be a lot of fun. That would definitely be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
We have a new logo. So we're putting that on the banner and the tablecloth. We have a QR code that'll bring you to our YouTube page and a lot of stuff going on. So this is going to be very exciting. We are super stoked, and don't worry, because if you didn't wait to the end of this, and you're not hearing it anyway, but we're definitely going to be talking about it in the next episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week. Oh, like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
All of those things. If there's a button for you to do something that will help us on the side, click it. Thanks.